Now, specifically, Joe, I want to know, how did you change your mindset to attract the wealth that you currently have?
So how did I change my mindset to generate the wealth that I have today? That's a great question. You know, I can remember one of the thoughts that I had to entertain and then accept as reality was the idea that money, wealth, could come to me in a wide variety of ways. And today I see this as a common problem with people because they think wealth can only come to them through one particular path. And that's not true. That's not the way the universe works. That's not the ebb and flow of finances anyway. So I remember when this was first introduced to me, I thought the only way that I can actually generate wealth was through my writing. I wanted to be an author. I wanted to be published. I wanted money from my books. And I thought that made the most sense to me. I've always felt like I was here to write books. That's my calling. That's my life mission, if you will. So if I write books, they get published, I make money, there's the avenue that I would receive my wealth. Guess what? That's a mistake. That's a mistake. Why is it a mistake? Well, the thing that I had to change in my own head is the idea that wealth is this gigantic pie of opportunity. And what I was saying is, I only want it to come through this one slice. Just let it come here. Not realizing that wealth can come from here, and 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 here, all kinds of different ways. And it was really difficult for me to accept that because I kept thinking, yeah, that sounds reasonable, that sounds logical, that sounds possible, but I'm just an author. How else is it going to come to me? So I had to also release the idea of being identified with that path. So if I think I'm an author and I think I can only make money as an author, I have dramatically limited my possibilities of generating wealth because it can only now come through that one road. That's it. So I had to entertain what other ways could wealth come to me. So I started to expand my mind. And I thought, well, a lot of authors sell their books by being a speaker. A lot of speakers make really good money, sometimes more money than the writing or the authors do. And I remember that even Mark Twain, one of my great literary heroes, he made more money from his speaking engagements than he did from his writing engagements. And his speaking engagements helped fuel the sale of the books. And P.T. Barnum, who of course I admire, P.T. Barnum had lost all of his money because of a bad investment. He made a gamble and he lost. But he generated more wealth by going on the speaking circuit. And I thought, well, I could be a speaker. I didn't really want to be a speaker. I was too shy. I was awkward about that, socially uncomfortable. Couldn't really relish the idea of being in front of people. But we can learn to do anything. And I thought, okay, maybe it's not just writing. Maybe it's writing and it's also speaking. I now have two roads. I now have two roads coming to me. And then as I started thinking about this some more, I realized that, well, a lot of authors, they have their book, but they repackage their book. There's also the audio version of the book. Now today, back then when I had my first book published, which I think was 1984 or 85, today you can also come out with multimedia products and ebook versions of them, digital products of different things, video products of your products. There's all kinds of different ways to do things to generate more wealth. But even back then, when I'm looking at this for the first time and thinking, okay, it's not just me making money from being an author, not just me making money from being a speaker, but I can also turn my existing product as a book into an audio book. Back then it would have been a cassette. I now have another avenue stream. Guess what? I'm speaking, I record my speeches, I now have a product to sell, either in the back of the room or to a mail order list or the people buying my books. I now have another avenue stream. And then I started thinking about this some more. Do you see how this is enlarging and expanding the idea of possibilities? This is what I've had to do on myself. And by illustration, this is what you get to do with yourself. You start playing with possibilities. You start free associating and brainstorming. So I now have multiple products. I now have, I'm still an author. I'm now a speaker. And I have audios of the speaking engagements that I'm also selling. What else can I do? And I started thinking, well, I'm now selling books and writing books and speaking and selling speaking tapes. I wonder if other people want to know how I'm doing that. Another avenue stream, consulting. None of these avenue streams were there when I was insisting that wealth can come to me one way, from writing books. But as I expanded my mind, put on the positive mindset, started to see opportunities and really started to entertain the idea that wealth is everywhere, I'm the one limiting it. And when I start to open that up to say, where else can it come from? Well, now there's consulting and there's speaking and there's multiple products and there's still the books and everything else that might come with this. That's how I began to do it, just by expanding my mind, seeing opportunities. And just so you don't think that I just automatically did this, I still had resistance in me. I would wonder, will this work for me? Can I actually be a speaker? My first speech sucked. I was in front of 6 people and almost passed out. I was not able to do it. Yet I went to Peru and I spoke in front of 19,000 people live on a stadium stage where I had a translator and a bodyguard and an entourage, the whole thing. But when I spoke the first time, I could barely survive in front of 6 people. So what I'm pointing out is, yeah, you may be uncomfortable when you consider doing some of the things that will generate wealth for you, but we can learn to do anything, and practice makes perfect. But to answer the question, I had to change a lot about me and my mindset, about what I thought was possible in order to generate the wealth and live the lifestyle of the rich and famous that I do today.